Last week we spoke about assimilation, that it's a dreadful situation that we're facing, much more serious than the epidemic of Corona. And certainly more devastating to our nation even than the long exile and situations like pogroms and the Holocaust, because the numbers of Jews that are being destroyed through assimilation are way up and above any other form of loss. And the problem is that we don't tend to realize this, because what we see are people happy and living their lives and earning a living and enjoying outings and mingling with the goyim and going to the museum and to art galleries and the whole way of life of the nations of the world, and are happy, seemingly happy, physically happy, maybe a little bit. Although our rabbis say you can never really be physically satiated and satisfied, because whatever you have, you want more. That's the way of the world. If you have a pound, you want 10 pounds. If you have 1 million, you want 100 million. You can never be satisfied. En adam met v'hetzit ta'avotav b'yado. You're always going to be in the middle of the way, longing for more and suffering because you don't have that more. But seemingly people are enjoying life. And that's the big problem. God forbid, when there was a Holocaust, everyone saw the great suffering and understood the suffering and understood the harm, because it was physical and seen and felt. But the dreads of assimilation, which destroy the body and the soul for eternity, are not felt. No one sees any problem in it. We can understand the problem more by the words of the great author, the great rabbi, the Or Haim HaKadosh, Rabbi Haim ben Attar. Something he wrote on Parashat Pinhas. In Parashat Pinhas it says, there's a commandment, tzror et Midyanim v'hikitem otam. After what Bil'am did to us, that he destroyed many Jews by luring them into the mire of his evil plot to cause Jews to sin through immorality, and through the immorality to cause them to worship idols. Hashem commands us in Parashat Pinhas, tzror et Midyanim v'hikitem otam. Hate the Midianites for what they did to you, how they harmed you spiritually, and caused many, many deaths of many Jews, thousands, tens of thousands. V'hikitem otam, and then fight them. The Torah wants us to avenge what they did to us. However, it seems that this is not really the command that Hashem is giving us to go out and do battle with them. This we find in next week's Sedra. In Parashat Matot, the Torah commands us to go out to war against the Midianites, linkom nikmat Hashem b'minyan, to avenge, to take a vengeance on behalf of God from this evil nation of Midian, who was so harmful to God's chosen people. So he commands us, go out and fight them and avenge their evil doings to you. So the Or Haim asks, if so, why in Parashat Pinhas did we need this command? tzror et Midyanim v'hikitem otam. Hate the Midianites and fight them. This is not really the command which is telling us to go out to war. That we have in Prashat Matot. Bimkom nikmat Hashem b'Midyan. And the Torah doesn't have to command us for the same topic twice. So the Or HaChaim HaKadosh explains like this. He says, those Jews, tens of thousands, who were lured into Bilam's evil trap and were attracted by the music and the lights and the bargains and the pretty girls and all that type of the life which the nations have to offer, and went out and then sinned in immorality and in idol worship. While they were sinning, there were many, many others of the Jewish nation looking at them and in a way admiring them. Oh, I wouldn't do that, it's not for me. My wife would never let me. I'd be ashamed. How will I face my father, my siblings? No, I can't go there and do that. But it looks quite nice. It's appealing. They're certainly having a good time. Okay, I can't be one of them. But they admired that type of life. And this in itself is a very grave sin and a very dangerous sin. Because when we admire the lifestyle of the nations of the world, their immorality, and their rough and tough existence of the hero always being the one who kills more people and is a bad guy, he is the hero. It's so totally the opposite of what the Torah teaches us, how we have to look upon a hero who is a tzaddik, a humble person, a truthful person, a kind person, a bashful person, who is there for others and helps and teaches and serves his Creator. That's not something the nations of the world look up to at all. So these people did a very big sin as well. They never went out into the camp of the Midianim, no, but they looked on in admiration, and this is a very great sin. So the Torah commands us in Parashat Pinchas, Tzrorat HaMidyanim. The first stage, before I can tell you, go out and fight them and avenge what they did to you, you have to hate them. If you don't hate them, whatever you do is not true, because you admire that lifestyle. So you can't take vengeance from them for what they did to you and cause you to sin, as long as you admire their lifestyle. First, Tzrorat HaMidyanim. The Or HaChaim says it means to hate them, to hate their way of life, to hate their customs and the whole setup of their lifestyle, which is all rotating around immorality and evil and lust and desire and crookedness and everything which the Torah abhors. Hate that. Tzrorat HaMidyanim. Then you will be able to vehikitem otam, when I command you to go out and fight them and do battle with them. Then you'll really be able to fight them as you should, because you hate what they represent, you hate what they do, and you see the danger in their lifestyle to you. That's why in Parashat Matot, now the Torah is telling us, go out to war, linkom nikmat Hashem b'Midyan, to avenge what the Midianites did to you. That you've got to this level of hating evil. The Pasuk says in Tehillim, Ohavei Hashem sin'ura. Those who love Hashem automatically hate evil. So hating evil is a sign that we really love Hashem. If we love Hashem, we love His will, we love His Torah, we love His commandments, we love His ways, all that He teaches us. Till the level when it says, B'halachta b'drachav, follow His ways. And our rabbis explain, Hadbek b'midotav, emulate his character traits. Just like he's merciful, you be merciful. Just like he's kind, you be kind. Just like he does hesed, you do hesed. So we have to love Hashem and emulate his ways and hate those who oppose his ways and embattle his ways and live lives which are totally alien and diametrically opposite to the ways of the Torah, with immorality and evil and murder and crookedness and stealing and robbing, all the bad things in the world outside. That's the explanation of the Or HaGaon Kadosh. We can add on a few points. We know the story of Dinah, the daughter of Leah, the daughter of Yaakov Avinu. So it says, "V'tetzel Dinah l'r'ot b'bnot haaretz." Dinah went out to look at the other girls of her age among the neighbors who were non-Jews, obviously. So what did she go out to see? There were young girls skipping with a rope, playing ball, chasing one another, happy, enjoying. And she just looked on. Obviously, she looked on in a way admiring that lifestyle. And where did she end up? Unfortunately, she ended up in a very, very sad and a very unfortunate situation. Like her brothers said when they found out, "Kazona ya'asu et achotenu," they made our sister like an immoral woman. They treated her in such a bad way. So we see that whenever we take interest in the ways of the Gentiles, we look upon them admiringly, we're in danger. We have to know their ways are not our ways. As long as what they're doing is not admired by Hashem and His Torah, we are not allowed to admire them. We have to hate those ways for everything they mean and everything they lead to. We could start off with skipping in a rope and playing ball and end up, has v'shalom, in a trap of immorality and idol worship. Avera goreret avera. One sin leads to another. That's why the Torah commands us against this danger of assimilation to separate ourselves from the goyim. Don't follow the ways of the goyim. Don't dress like them. Don't speak like them. Don't behave like them. Don't enjoy what they enjoy. There's enough to do in the world without the non-Jewish way, besides the non-Jewish way. Of course, unfortunately, today we know many, even religious families, mainly those who live abroad, are very much connected to the sports. It's very exciting and very nationalistic that the team of this country is winning and that country is losing. And whether it's football, whether it's baseball, whether it's cricket, each country according to the sports that they encourage. It's really not the right thing for Jewish people to say it's forbidden to look at a football match or a tennis match. Maybe not, but what it leads to, it causes us to admire their ways and the nonsense that they make to be so great and so important. For example, Havdil, to write down the laws of a cricket game, what's permitted and what's not permitted and how and what, you could make a book, of a big size book with all the detailed laws of playing cricket. So, so they have a whole Torah out there of utter nonsense, like someone hitting a ball and that's it, big deal, and others catching it or throwing it, and that's all it's about. And yet, for the world at large, there are rules and regulations and the whole way of life around a cricket game, and so on and so forth, with all the sports, and they're very attractive. Never mind other forms of non-Jewish enjoyment, where there's lots of immorality involved. So when the base of those sports or those games or those forms of enjoyment are literally immorality. So to keep away from that, we have to cultivate our love for Hashem, to be Ohavei Hashem. If we love Hashem, Sinura, we'll hate the evil, and we'll know how to appreciate the ways of our traditions, of our Torah, the type of education we saw at home by our parents and grandparents who lived lives of holiness, of goodness, and we're able to follow their ways and guarantee our future that our children and grandchildren will remain within the fold of the Jewish nation.